One of the biggest games of 2025 has fallen on hard times. Monster Hunter Wilds has been anemic post-launch, and they're trying anything. They're, co-branding with Final Fantasy 14 of all things. I think that was announced at Gamescom, and now they've got a brand new crossover with Street Fighter. It's like, how does that even work? Okay, at least with an MMO, I could see that one working, but with a fighting game, okay. So Street Fighter 6, a Monster Hunter Wilds collab, now live. Okay. Capcom's big Street Fighter 6 Monster Hunter Wilds collaboration is now live for the fighting game and includes balance changes to a new fighters. That totally makes sense, right? You want to do, a bunch of different costumes and shit like that. Okay, limited ties, EX colors for Blanca, Akuma, Manon, Cammy, and Ken. So go ahead and, have Capcom cross-pollinate one of their biggest IPs with their biggest IP in Street Fighter, at least the most relevant, I would think, at this point in time, because Street Fighter 6, it's so funny, right? Because Street Fighter 5 was absolute dog water for a long time. It eventually got better towards, the end of its life cycle, but Street Fighter 6 has just been multiple times more successful than 5 was. So it just shows that, your franchise can fall on hard times for a second, but it's a pretty quick rebound as long as you make the right changes. But apparently, this one really isn't working because, you just take a look. 6 months ago, 1.3 million concurrent players starting off strong and then fallen into a trough. And over this past weekend, over the past Labor Day long weekend, you got 28,000 people playing your game. Not great. Not great at all, okay? And why is that? Well, it's something that has kind of plagued gaming. Not even talking about the writing or the characters or anything like that. We're talking about just strictly because here's the thing. From what I'm hearing from the people that actually play Monster Hunter Wilds, it's a pretty decent game. It's just, it runs like ass on one of Capcom's, I would say probably Capcom's most important platform, gaming's most important platform at this point in time, PC, still to this very day, 6 months on post-launch. Monster Hunter Wilds director wants to reduce the game's strain on your CPU, but is worried about its impact on overall performance. We plan to proceed with caution. Folks just want to kill troublesome monsters, dragons, dinosaurs, and horrific lava octopi. For Monster Hunter Wilds, sating one's bloodlust in many cases means putting up with some severe performance issues. Take a gander at the Steam page and you'll notice that despite the Title Update 2's recent fixes, recent reviews sit at mostly negative, and even the reviews in totality, it's still sitting at a 46.69. Well, at least you got the gamer number that's in there. So it's still not positive at all. I love this game, but the August 13th update somehow made wound hit detection worse, added more input lag and delay, even worse performance. Oh shit, from one player with nearly 270 hours in the game. In an update to the game director Yuya Takuda, published on Tuesday, the subject unsurprisingly rears its ugly head again when Takuda does not directly address the criticism of Title Update 2 didn't go enough to fix the performance issues, or that it may have introduced more. He does explain what's been done and what's going to be done, while breaking down some of the challenges of making Monster Hunter feel nice and smooth. And why do I want to keep on saying Title Hunter? Like I said, I've been out of it for the past couple of days. Don't worry about it. We'll be back around and we'll have things right as rain here. Probably faster than Capcom will fix Monster Hunter. But yes, fixed bugs related to shader compilations and reduce the impact of anti-cheat measures. Oh, interesting. When people were like, oh yeah, de novo's on here, we don't like that. It's like, it's not going to affect anything. Lo and behold, who's right on that one? Anyways, as an option to reduce a CPU load while improving frame rate, we implemented support for the latest AI, frame interpolation technology, DLSS4 and FSR4. CPU load is a serial culprit when it comes to Monster Hunter Wilds performance woes. And that has set the stage and set the tone and tenor around this game that it's really, until it's fixed, like it's a decent game, it's a decent installment in Monster Hunter as an IP. And well, if you take a look at other games in the franchise, at least it was at one point in time, but Monster Hunter Worlds, being a game that launched in 2018, the past weekend, had a similar 24-hour peak player count. Not great at all. And overall performance, even with a game that is highly anticipated, if you start to get that rumor, if you start to get that badge at this point in time in 2025, 2025 has really been the year that if your game does not perform, if we catch a whiff that it is not playable on launch, people are just gonna set it and forget it. And we've seen this happen, in fact, with one of the more anticipated remakes on the year, and that would be Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Okay, now I'm not a Metal Gear guy, I'm not a Kojima guy at all whatsoever, wasn't looking forward to this at all. And so when I seen these numbers pop up, it's like, holy shit, for the amount of coverage this game was getting and the amount of palpable anticipation there was at, I see over the weekend you barely get 19,000 at launch, and you can't even get 15,000 over the weekend. That's tough, man. And I hear this game's performance is washed. It is atrocious shit. And until they fix it, player numbers are likely to stay there, and maybe it'll end up getting marked for death like Monster Hunter Wilds is, as Monster Hunter Wilds did not meet sales expectations. Capcom confirms. That's not good. Monster Hunter Wilds is a perilous fight to win players' hearts and Capcom's pocketbooks in the months after its release this past February. That's not fair. I think it released, February 28th, so technically it's true, but that's a touch misleading. But yes, the immediate launch phase saw tens of millions of copies sold. Or I'm sorry, 10 million copies sold, right? Yes, which was probably pretty great. But it fell apart so quickly. The legs, yes, have been rough. Still, some of us are surprised that they were so rough as to make the very first sales window an outright disappointment for Capcom. Okay, so what are they talking about? News comes from Capcom's Q1 fiscal year of 2025 financial results conference call, which is arguably as official as one can get. Yeah, it's coming directly from Capcom, so no third-party sources required. The company, in turn, frequently attempted to put a right proper spin on the negative slant queries, but they're in a lot of hot water for an outright fib. The numbers, after all, are plain as day in the prepared slides. Capcom is often, rather straightforward with their answers, though, and they wasted no time getting to the heart of the thing. Monster Hunter Wilds was no dud. It's just sales tail has been chopped off by weak reception, from fans. Why is it weak? Because the game doesn't fucking work. Just the same as we recently reported, customarily strong numbers from Resident Evil and powerhouse performances from aging Warhorse, Devil May Cry 5, did a lot of heavy lifting, which one investor was quick to note. Interesting. But their response to that question, it drives everything home. Monster Hunter Wilds fell short of our initial expectations. Elsewhere in the report, Capcom notes that 10 million units were sold within the first month of release, explaining that the large initial batch of players has presented them with a valuable opportunity for us to gain many insights. Exactly. Many insights that you will not capitalize on because, as you can see right now, and I'll just even refresh for posterity's sake, nobody's playing this goddamn game. You fumbled a tremendous bag because you put out bad PC ports. I really thought at this point in time we have gotten so far beyond that, because when I first jumped onto PC gaming back in 2014, that was a beginning to get ironed out. But now, because developers are getting exceptionally lazy, you're seeing these unoptimized AAA games come out a dime a dozen. We are getting to a point where instead of people who are looking forward to games, it's like, I'll wait for the PC port to get ironed out, and if I really want to play it, I'll buy it on console. But here's the thing, man. Nobody's really buying games in general. That's another thing. 2024, for as many slot products and bad releases as they had, actually had more quality that was out there. And I even thought that 2024 was a soft year. 2025, on the other hand, outside of Claire Obscure, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And over the weekend, we're going to be talking about another aspect of this industry. And yeah, there was a console that launched a couple of months ago. How well is it doing? Well, we'll just go ahead and check in on it, because if you think the performance of Monster Hunter Wilds is bad on PC, you just wait until they try to cram it on the Switch too. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.